Okay, so before you see my top 10 today, I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Let me know who is your go-to right back currently in FIFA 22 Ultimate Team. If you need some coins to improve your team, look no further than IG Vault for the cheapest coins on the market, and don't forget to use the code Kieron to get yourself a discount at the checkout. There's a chance to win some free coins just by clicking the link in the description too. So in this video today, we are going to continue on with our little mini series, my top 10s in FIFA 22, and today we're obviously going to cover one of the fullback roles. I am going to do left backs at a later date, but for now we're going to focus on the right-sided players, and we've got some really good players in this list today. Now do bear in mind that this is my personal list, so some choices, some of my rankings you might not agree with, and that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you let me know which ones you disagree with down below in the comments, and feel free to give me your top 3, your top 5, or even your top 10 if you've got time. It's a bit boring because I say this in every single top 10 I've done so far, but icons won't be included because they're just going to get their own separate video in the future. So if you're wondering why, someone like Alberto or Cafu isn't included, that's why. Okay, now all the boring stuff is out the way, let's get into my top 10, and in at 10 is actually Rule Breakers Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now I'm sure a lot of you people did expect him to feature in the video, and you're right, but I'm sure a lot of you did actually expect him to rank higher, and he might for you, but not for me personally. Now don't get me wrong, I do think this is a very good card, but I just didn't get on with it that much, and I think that's very much down to my playstyle. This is a brilliant card if you're good at attacking with your fullbacks. That's not my game style, so because of that, I can't rank him any higher for me personally, but I can understand why some of you might get more enjoyment out of this card. But for me, it's a card that I'd prefer to play in midfield. I just don't think he's that good of a fullback compared to other options in the game, and obviously because of that, we are ranking him at 10. But still, he's done well to make, the top 10 in general, so I still do rate the card fairly highly, but not as highly as some of the other options that you're going to see in this video. The main positive to his Trent card for me is his distribution. For a fullback, it is just excellent. Also, I think his dribbling is to a very good standard as well. But I just feel in areas like positioning, he just doesn't quite have the same impact, especially defensively, as some of the other options we're going to talk about very soon. He's also pretty expensive, and value for money is something I do consider in these top 10s. Anyway, in at number 9 is going to be Inform Atal, who is pretty much 15k and is excellent value at that price. Every single year, this guy gets some very good special cards, and they're just solid. The 5-star weak foot, I know it's not, a massive thing for a fullback, but it's very useful. The 4-star skills are also a bonus to this item, and he's just good. He's got the pace, his physicals are good for a fullback, he's got a lot of aggression, and he just does a job. He's one of them players who is very good at turning defense into attack as well, and yeah, he's just good. It's a very solid item, especially if you run with a League Un side, so it's definitely a card to consider. But is it the best League Un right back you can get? No, I don't think it is, and we're going to talk about not just one, but 2 more of the League Un right backs soon in this video. Now this video would be extremely fraudulent if we didn't include this man, and I'm fully aware he's 79 rated, and I'm fully aware he's just a non-inform, but he's class. He's really good. I'm of course talking about non-inform Mbabu. I just like the fact that he's got so much pace, so much physicals, and aerially he's also pretty solid as well. Like, his defensive stats aren't anything too significant, but because of that strength and aggression for a fullback, and because he's, pretty big player, like, he just knocks people off the ball, and that just makes him a very effective defensive option, and he's just solid, isn't he? He just is, and he's discard, and if you're on a Bundesliga side, and if you don't have this guy at right back, currently you are doing something wrong, because there really isn't many better Bundesliga options. There might be one, which we might talk about soon, but there isn't many, so I feel like most people who run with a Bundesliga side will currently use Mbabu, and if I'm wrong in that statement, please correct me in the comments. Funnily enough, we do actually have another Bundesliga option following from Mbabu. We have Road to the Knockouts Mukiele, who, when I spoke about Trent, I was saying that I didn't like him because he was, too offensive and not too defensive. Whereas Mukiele is the opposite, so I can understand why some people might switch these two around. But Mukiele, I think, is a very good fullback option. And when I reviewed him, I enjoyed him. I thought he was very good. I did say that I thought he was better as a centre-back than he is as a fullback, and I stand by that statement, but he's still a very good right-back option. He's obviously got good pace, his physicals are absolutely nuts for a fullback, his defensive stats are quite nice, and his dribbling isn't too bad either. either. He's just really, really good. Bit of a brew, as I say, but he's one of them players who won't just catch up to wingers with his pace, but he'll also bully them with his physicality as well. So he's a pretty hard player to get past, especially if you're using him correctly. Like I've said already, if you like an attacking fullback, this is a card to avoid, but if you like a defensive fullback, this is a card to certainly try out. Just missing out on a top 5 spot is going to be Rule Breakers Capa, a player that I reviewed. If you want to see reviews on, any of these special items, make sure you check out the link in the description, because I've reviewed a bunch of them either on my main channel, this one, or my second channel. So obviously be able to check out all that good stuff down below. Anyway, Capa, really good card, and for me, it's without doubt the best right back you can get if you run with a La Liga side. Similar to Mukiele, he's not just got very good pace, he's also got very good physicals, so he can literally just knock players off the ball. But what I really like about Capa is he's actually got some really good tackling stats, and he's also got some very nice defensive awareness as well, and he just does a really good job. And another positive to Capa is he's not just good defensively. Offensively too, he has an outlet. He's got a good crossing, he's got good short passing, his long passing isn't that bad either for a defender. Very good card and very underrated in my opinion. Our next entry is actually a very new card at the time of recording. It is Foundations Owusu, whose name hopefully I am getting correctly. This is a really good card, and if you haven't unlocked it yet, I do recommend doing so, because if you can fit him into a team, he'll do a very good job for you. I don't think this is a card that's got a mass amount of longevity, but I think for now, it's very, very good. Offensively, the guy's got a 90 crossing stat, which is pretty nuts. He's also got 90 short passing, which is great. Very good physicals, very good pace, and his shooting isn't that bad for a fullback either. This guy has a lot to offer. His dribbling area also isn't that bad, but his reactions are a bit low, and that's one of the things that holds him back, in my opinion, the same as his defensive awareness versus these other fullback options. But for this stage of the game, I think this is a really, really solid item, and like I've already said, if you can fit him into your team, I'm sure he'll do a really, really good job for you. The physicals on the card, like I've already said, are brilliant, and just physicals and pace alone on a fullback are just so useful just for knocking people off the ball, and that is something that this guy is really, really good at. The next player we're going to talk about will be a familiar face to you all, because you seem to come up against Hakimi like every other game in this year's Ultimate Team. He's very popular because, one, he's very good, and two, he offers some really premium links to some PSG players. What do we like about Hakimi? The pace is obviously class, and I think his physicals are very, very good too. They're better than the stats actually suggest, in my opinion. In-game, he feels super strong and just does a really, really good job. Also, dribbling-wise, he feels really nice on the ball for a defender as well. And all in all, he just is a really, really good right-back option. Is he the best right-back in Ligue 1? I don't actually think so, but you'll find out who I think that is soon. Into the top 3 we go, and we have Informed Tavernier, just a class card. Just look at the stats, he's very well rounded. He can offer a lot for no matter what job or what role you want to use him in. Can he sit back and defend? Yeah, he can. Can he go forward and attack? Absolutely. Very good crossing on this guy with the 88 crossing stat, and very good physicals as well with the 85 strength stat. Also his defensive stats are not too bad at all. Whack an anchor chem style, or even a shadow if you really want to on this guy, and you have yourself a ridiculous looking fullback option that, like I've already said, can literally do it all. Defend and attack, he's class. He really, really is. And if he was in, one of the top 5 leagues within the game, I'm sure this card would cost a hell of a lot more. Now this one might divide opinions, but in at number 2 for me, above Hakimi, is Road to the Knockouts Traore. If you haven't used this card, please don't comment, don't hate on this decision. If you have used him, let me know how you got on with him in the comment section down below. I reviewed this card, and honestly, I thought he was class. He's absolutely brilliant. Plenty of pace on him. Once again, the physicals are very good. Defensively, he's solid. And even with the ball, his dribbling is very nice. And for whatever reason, he actually isn't bad at goal scoring either, which is really, really strange. Another thing, his passing is very good too. He's just another one of these fullbacks who can, do pretty much everything. His shooting's not brilliant, but when it comes to pace, passing, dribbling, defending, physicals, he's very, very good in all those areas, and he just is a brilliant right-back option. I also will add, I think he feels much faster in-game than his pace stat actually suggests. Maybe not in the current gameplay that we've experienced, in the past week, but before that, he did feel very, very quick like most players did, but no one feels fast in the current gameplay, so hopefully that's fixed soon. Anyway, if you haven't tried this card, give him a go. Honestly, he is a very, very premium right-back option. So we arrive at my number 1 pick, and in a way, it's pretty boring and probably very anticlimactic, but it's actually non-informed Kyle Walker, Old Faithful. He has had a terrific card in Ultimate Team for as long as I can remember. Like, even way back in like FIFA 13, he was ridiculously overpowered. But yeah, he's just class. He really, really is. He's another one that just offers so much. I know he's got high wear rates, but I actually don't mind that in the slightest. He's obviously very, very quick. Another one, I know I've said it a lot, that has very good physicals. Defensively, he's solid. He makes plenty of intercepts. And yeah, he's just a nightmare to get past. When you come up against this guy, you know it's not going to be easy to get around him. And I just think he's really good. Like, he's a card that I could happily use all FIFA long, and I have in some FIFAs. And it's a card that even like at the end of the game, like, is he going to be brilliant at the end of the game? No. But is he going to be usable? Yeah, he will be. Just because like that's how good the card is. And that kind of longevity just shows you how good an item like this is within the game. Obviously, he's not too expensive right now within the game, but like the home market isn't, you know, anything right now. There's so many players at a discard that really shouldn't be, or at least wouldn't be on another game. But Kyle Walker's coming in at what, like 16k right now at that price. Absolute bargain, because he is without doubt one of the best, not just right backs, but one of the best defenders, like flat out in the game. So that's that. Those are my personal top 10 best right backs within FIFA 22 Ultimate Team as things stand. Obviously, this video has been recorded at the end of November, so if you're watching this after that time, there could be some more promos that have released some better fullbacks. But don't worry, there will be some updated top 10s coming in the future months, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them. In the middle of the screen right now, there is a playlist for some player reviews, so if you want to see, you know, an in-depth evaluation of some players, give that a click. And if you want to see some more player rankings, some more top 10s, click the playlist on the right. And if you want to see who's going to be in the latest team of the week, the playlist over on the left will definitely help you out. Thanks for watching as always, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.